So this one is probably going to be one of the ones on the shorter side because I'm usually very, very weary to talk about stuff like this. I don't know why, but for some reason I don't know. Do I not feel qualified? Then again, what am I qualified to talk about? I don't know, man. But I'm usually ready to talk about things like this. But anyway, here we are. Let's get into it. So, how do you find love? How do you find love? I don't know. How do you find love? First of all, I think there's love everywhere. You can find love from anywhere, from anybody. So I would probably address this in the way I see or the way I understand this comment or this question. How do you find love being romantic love? Having a partner, especially with how love is framed in my mind, having a romantic partner, one romantic partner, um, who you are in a committed relationship with, um, probably end up marrying. So, how do you find love, in quote, in that context? Um, okay. Like I said before, love is everywhere. I believe that you can find love from anybody. I believe that anybody that has the will to love you can love you. Especially there are other things that foster that love they have for you, like physical attraction, like other complementary qualities that they may see in you, like you being fun, like maybe you having money, whatever it is, other stuff like that. So I think you can find love from anywhere. I think you can find love from anyone. But narrowing it down to that one person, narrowing it down to finding love, finding the one, as most people would say. Um, Recently I've been thinking about the scripture of that says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtaineth favor from the Lord." And I've heard that scripture a couple times, and I've heard a lot of people talk about that scripture. I've heard a lot of people explain that scripture, and it's usually they usually explain it like as it's said. I mean, understandably, saying that when you find a wife, you find a good thing, and then you obtain favor from the Lord, or you finding that good thing gives you favor from the Lord. You finding a wife that ends up being a good thing. Anyway, you all get my point. But I've been thinking about it from the context of finding a good thing. And that's kind of where I want to narrow down today. I've been thinking about how, I mean, first of all, the term wife is kind of just a title, or it's kind of a position that one, let's say, is granted when one decides to get married. Anybody could bear that position. So I kind of like to think about it from the context of finding a good thing. And recently, I've been imparted with the belief somehow that the focus should be finding what is good, and in finding what is good, or in recognizing what is good and choosing to give what is good a committed position in your life, you then find a wife. Especially when we're saying you're finding favor from God. And in then finding what is good, I think about it from the context of, or from the angle of finding what is good for your life. Now, I would like to make the distinction of this not being what you want, or this not being what you desire. Now, hang in there, hang in there. I know that whatever love of your life that you find, obviously you would want to desire this person. You would want to want this person. You want this person to possess qualities that you want. Physical qualities, emotional qualities, psychological qualities, other qualities that you may desire in this person. Obviously, you would want that. But finding what is good for your life, if we're not trying to be myopic in our thinking, isn't that kind of the goal of everything we do? Isn't that kind of the goal of isn't the goal enjoying your life to the fullest? Isn't the goal surrounding yourself with things that not just service your life directly, but elevate your life and make your life be accomplished in its fullest? Make your life be totally fulfilled. Get what I'm saying? That's kind of the angle I've been thinking about it from. We meet people every day. We come across people, we meet people we're attracted to. That attraction could spark interest. You could pursue that interest. You could get to know this person, and in getting to know this person, you get a better sense of who this person is, what they believe in, what they you kind of, it's almost like a trial run into, like, you grant them certain access into your life to see how they fit with your life, to see how complementary they are with your life. And then in that, you kind of recognize what could be good for you and what could not be good for you. And even in speaking of what is good for you, that could also be very, very subjective, understandably. So, me personally speaking on this, how I see life, my worldview on life being totally fulfilled in God. Especially with that scripture that says that you find a wife, you find a good thing, and you obtain favor from the Lord. I believe that should be the standard. You get what I'm saying? A few seconds ago, I talked about, I mentioned this not being what you want or what you desire. Because even that can be very, very, very directly influenced by anything, including society, including societal standards. You get what I'm saying? But when we're talking about your life, now we're not talking about flimsy desires. We're not talking about short-sighted desires. We're talking about your life. Your life. You get what I'm saying? And I believe that in recognizing what is good for your life and what is favorable for your life, you find your wife or your husband. You find the love of your life. You find the love you are looking for. That's what I believe. You see, the thing is, me, for example, and I remember using this example a few days ago in a gathering I was at. Me, for example, I became very, very deliberate with not drinking soda. And the reason is, soda is good, it's sweet. And the reason is that my experience with soda or pop, whatever you may call it, or yeah, whatever you may call it, my experience with soda is in two parts. The taste is good, but I realized that past my mouth, my experience with soda is just terrible. Taking it in, yeah, even when it's cold, it could kind of be refreshing, but not really. Cold water could be refreshing as well. But then taking, especially when mostly carbonated soda, well, most soda is carbonated anyway. Taking it in, the experience for me is not pleasant. When it sits in my body, it's not pleasant. So then I started to think, yes, okay, soda is good. It could be good for some. Some people drink soda every day, constantly, more than what I got. I'm saying it could be good for them. It's their life, their life. But according to me and my life, I realized that even though I could see how it could be good, the experience, I could see how some part of the experience could be enjoyable. But for the most part, when it comes to my life, soda isn't good for me. Because then if I'm measuring the standard of good of soda, the good of soda in my life, according to how it tastes in my mouth, then I'm now foregoing all the other detrimental things it does in my body and to my body, then that's pretty silly of me. So then I can then say that soda is, at the end of the day, not good for me. You get what I'm saying? That's kind of how it is with, that's kind of how I see it with like finding love, or finding the love of your life, of whatever you want to call it. That's kind of how I see it. Because you could, I mean, you, especially for those of us that, especially for people, what have I said? Especially for those of us that have had the wonderful privilege of experiencing multiple people, of placing that title of, oh, boyfriend or girlfriend or spouse or partner on multiple people in your lifetime. You could kind of see how parts of it could be, I mean, you could enjoy things. I mean, it's not like the experience in total could be terrible. Yes, some could be, but it's not like the experience in total would have to be terrible not to work. Parts of it could be good. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, especially for those of us that have ended relationships for right reasons, according to us, that have wisely ended relationships, we could see how, in the general context of things, those people weren't good for us. Those people weren't our good. You get what I'm saying? Those people weren't good for our lives. They didn't favor the entirety of our lives. They didn't favor who we were. You get what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I think about it. That's kind of how I think about it. My mindset is that you meet people, and then you could just meet this person, and then if you're basing this on the right standards, if you're not being short-sighted, if you're not letting some flimsy desires overwhelm your decision, whether flimsy physical desires, and when I say physical desire, I may never be talking just sexually. I may be talking financially as well. It could be status wise. It could be reputation. Maybe y'all look good. Y'all are like the poster couple. Y'all are like the power couple. You get what I'm saying? Whatever desires that don't adequately serve the entirety of your life. You get what I'm saying? If you're using those standards, then you may end up running into trouble. You feel me? So I feel like the love of your life is exactly what that is. The love of your life. The love of your life that your life loves. Now, when they enter your life, they service your life entirely in the wide scope of things, and vice versa. It's not just them servicing your life. It's because them on their end, they're also making this decision. You feel me? They're also having to sit down. They're also having to gauge this whole relationship that is brewing. I mean, because then you even see people that maybe one party could be like, "Oh, this is working perfectly," and the other party could be like, "Yeah, this doesn't work for me." You feel me? So, at the end of the day, I feel like that's what it is. I feel like finding love is finding good for you. It's finding what is good for you. Especially if your mindset of finding love is very, very long term and is intended to be permanent. You get what I'm saying? Then that even raises the stakes of what you're using to gauge this decision you're making, or what you're using to even grant people this, or grant anybody this trial run that most people may even call the talking stage. You feel me? That's what I think. That's what I think it is. I think when you find good for your life, when you find what's favorable for your life, and trust me, not everybody will have that. Trust me, not everybody will have that. Especially when it's coming from God. Not everybody will have that. You would see people where, yeah, it wouldn't even be, for the most part, it wouldn't even be, especially if you're not letting yourself be overwhelmed by things that don't matter, by the flimsy desires that I talked about, the desires that don't stand the test of time. Especially if you're not letting yourself get overrun by that, Not it would be a no-brainer for the most part. I mean, even when you may even meet people and they may look like they're the one, or they're servicing your life in its entirety, or they're favorable for you. And yes, people change, people evolve. And even when they're starting to change in a way that isn't still favorable to you, you would know. You would see it. You get what I'm saying? And then the ideal thing would be to what? To hopefully end it. If you have the guts or the courage, I guess. But yeah, that's what I think it is. I think finding love is finding what's good for you. Finding love is finding what's favorable for your life. Because you could find love anywhere. You feel me? Anybody could be pretty, anybody could be handsome, anybody could be fun, anybody could have great conversation. Your mother could like anybody. Your father could like anybody. Your friends could like anybody. You get what I'm saying? Anybody could have the money. Anybody could have whatever. Everybody could have something that is good. Just like soda. Anybody could have something that is good. But because something tastes good in the mouth, doesn't mean it's good for the entire body. I'm just gonna end on that note. So yeah, man. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So hope that makes sense. Hope you guys are able to follow my train of thoughts. Hope you guys were able to see things how I see things. Yeah, that's just what I think. That's just how I've grown to see it. That's just how I've grown to understand love in the romantic sense. Understand love in finding a partner. Yeah. That's how I've grown to see it. So I hope that helps somebody somewhere, somehow. I hope that helps somebody that is having doubts, but the certain good things that they're experiencing are not letting them act on those doubts, or are not letting them properly assess those doubts. I hope this helps that person. I hope this helps somebody who, on the other hand, is could be scared to even grant someone that access for whatever reason, and it's not allowing themselves and it's not allowing themselves see how this person is favorable to their life, despite the shortcomings that individual may, or the person I'm talking to may have, despite the ugliness they may think they have. Oh boy, I hope this even allows them to expand their thoughts and not be too hard on themselves, and see how this person at the end of the day is supposed to favor your life, and vice versa. You get what I'm saying? So I hope this helped somebody. I hope this blessed somebody. Um yeah. So thank you guys for watching and listening again. Like I said, this probably wasn't gonna be a long one. I'm probably, even I'm shaking my leg throughout talking about this. Because these are things that just stay in my head, or these are the conversations I just have, maybe one on one with individuals. But yeah, that's my thought on finding love. You can find it anywhere, but you have to find the love that's good for you in its entirety. So yeah, appreciate y'all, man. All right, bye, peace. Oh yeah, subscribe, like the whole shebang. Please do that. It encourages me. You feel me? It encourages me. It encourages me. I mean, just people following me on Instagram the last couple days. I mean, I'm not saying follow me. You get what I'm saying? But even that warmed my heart. You get what I'm saying? You feel me? Even that was nice to see that. Not only the people like what they're seeing or hearing, but they're also following me to have constant access, so that new content that comes up, at least it pops up on the timeline. You feel me? Yeah. And I also appreciate the subscribers and every other person that does whatever they do. even if it's mentioning it to somebody, whatever they do to support me and encourage me, just as I encourage y'all with this podcast. So yeah, appreciate y'all. Bye.
Sit back, relax, and chill. Grab a glass of wine or a cup of tea, 'cause you're listening to No Table Talk.